Good morning, and welcome to Distracted Thoughts. I'm here, Aaron, here with my friend Dathan. Dathan, how are you? How the heck are you, man?
I am great. I am. I'll put this. I am joyfully busy as crap right now. So
That's an understatement.
Yes.
I was just say just chatting for the last 45 minutes
Yeah.
before getting started. We unfortunately didn't get a chance to record one last week because there were some revelations for the week that come out. You were actually going to spend some time with your son. And then I got some news from you that is both joyful and sorrowful. And, well, joyful for you, a little sad for me. But that kind of leads into the where you're at. So tell viewers
All right.
what's going on in Dathan's life.
Yeah, we decided, we've been talking about for a little while, but family and I, when I say we, decided that we're going to sell everything and go full-time in an RV and travel. We've done this before. We did this for a couple years before, about 8 years ago. But we have decided to do it again. Different circumstances now. We've got one kid that's grown and married, and now we've got two younger kids, so we're gonna with three boys this time traveling. So, but we decided to do that, and we actually made the final decision last week and beginning of last week, and so we've told people, and we're getting our house ready. It goes on the market next week, and so lots to do between now and then. But we're hoping to be on the road in the next 2 to 3 months. So. So I'm gonna,
you and I've talked about that lifestyle before. We've talked about the things that have gone on. I know it's come up in the podcast here more than once. I think for your family, I think the ideas behind it, I think is a great thing. Not a lot of people get an opportunity to just do that, especially for Garrett's lived it before. But Cole and Declan, they hear the stories.
Yeah, they do.
And they can't necessarily relate, right? No. Well, because you're in a position, I know you're liquidating one of your businesses that requires more attention. And I think that's, again, no big, I think that's a good idea. Your other one doesn't. You have a great manager. You can run it remotely. So it'll still generate income. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I see these things all the time. Just like we work 50 years of our life to retire and enjoy 10.
Right.
Right. And with the way technology is and the way stuff is nowadays, you can't do this. Right. Absolutely, there will be things that we have to give up.
Right.
In order to do this. But, I told somebody the other day, I said, we're giving up materialistic things and replacing them with experiences. Mm-hmm. And some people understand that, some people don't. Some people are the people who have lived in the same house since they were born.
Right.
They lived in it for the most part of their life, and then they end up buying it from their family or whatever, and they're still in it, and they will probably retire in it.
Right.
Us, we're not those people, and we tried to be. We thought we're going to make this work, and it actually is just not us.
Right.
And, accepting who you actually really are and doing that, we're more free-spirited type people. Right. I mean, that's just what we do and we love. And like I said, the first question everybody asks, well, how are you going to survive? You're not going to be working a 9-to-5 job. Listen, I ain't worked a 9-to-5 job in years. You know what I mean? And that's for some people. It's not a stab on anybody, but for me, it's not. It's with technology. You can run businesses that nobody even knows you own.
Right.
So that's, and I'm super excited. I'm super excited for the little boys Cole and Declan, my younger two, to actually get to experience things. Cole wants to see the Grand Canyon. Cool. Let's go see it. You know what I mean?
It's a big hole in the ground. No,
it is a big hole in the ground.
No, for young boys, especially like that, things like that are amazing. Going to see Arches, the national park, and seeing some of the things like that that they haven't had a chance to see or experience. The size of things, going to the East Coast, because your boys have never been back east.
Never.
I mean, they have Southern parents and have never been to the South.
I mean, letting them see a real beach.
Yeah.
Like a real Southern tropical beach.
Right.
The only beach they know is Sandpoint Beach, which is a lake with man-made sand poured. You know what I mean? They don't know what a beach is. They don't understand waves and salt water, and they've never been in salt water.
Oh, I can see Declan going out and it tastes bad.
So, when last time we did it, Garrett was 6, 7 last time we did it. This time Garrett will still be going with us, but he's 14.
Yeah.
And he has 2 younger brothers.
Yeah.
So he's going to even get a different experience than he did last time. We've already talked about hitting some of the same places like Arches and stuff and retaking photos that me and him took together.
Nice.
8 years apart,
nice.
And doing the same photos. So that'll be cool. Yep. Don't worry. We're going to figure out how to do this with not us being in the same location.
Technology is a wonderful thing. One of the things is there is ability to do Zoom. There is ability to do call in. Actually, we use pretty decent equipment. We have a lot of Rode equipment, and I know that they have some technology to be able to do call in stuff. So no, the podcast is not ending.
It's not going away.
It's not going away. We'll see how quickly things move. It will look different.
It'll definitely look different, but
I also think it's funny. I was actually thinking about that too. That will be good for you and I. I mean, we're still going to do half an hour, 45 minutes beforehand, just checking in.
Just talking, yeah.
Just checking in, just seeing how life is. And I told you, and I meant it. I'm making it goes out to the internet, so it'll be there forever. Like Megan and I are those people that we're not going anywhere. We're building the house we want to live in forever. I have a brother-in-law who is like you, retired. He's retired Navy. His wife and he are both retired Navy, and they travel. They have an RV. They do the fifth wheel thing, because it's the 2 of them, a dog, and 3 cats.
Yeah.
So they travel all over. They're actually leaving. They've been in Coeur d'Alene. They're packing up Friday and headed to Texas, and they work remotely. They do a travel agent business that they run remotely. I forgot where I was going. Holy crap, distracted. So with them in mind, actually, in the first place, my wife and I decided, hey, we're going to put in an RV pad. So we want folks, our nomadic friends.
There you go.
To have a spot that they can just be and not have to worry. Hey, there's and I went overboard. I put in a 50 amp plug. Yes.
Well, my RV's going to have 50 amps.
Right.
So.
Well, and that's generally the big ones. The big ones generally do.
We're actually going to upgrade the one we get because the one we are looking at is only got 1 AC unit.
Okay.
And so we're going to add a second AC unit into it and upgrade it to a 50 amp service. Yeah. That way that it can be run both.
Right.
So
yeah. So that's so we put a 50 amp service in where my RV pad is. I put an illegal dump station in.
You said illegal? You said legal, right?
I said legal. Okay, I said legal.
That's what I thought you said.
Yeah. Water service, all that, because I want it to be welcoming. Hey, come and park, come and stay, however long you can. That's what it's here for. Because we want that. We want those people we know that, because you're not the only, you're not the only ones. Like I said, my brother-in-law does the same thing. Yes, that's annoying.
Is that you?
Or that's me.
Okay.
Because mine's up higher.
Oh, gotcha.
It's tinging off of there. Yeah. Yeah, so having that, but also envy. I mean, not envy. No, because I love, like, we're building a house. We're almost done with it. Um, I am one of those people that, spent 20 years away. I'm ready to settle. I'm ready to be someplace. And so far, things have been great here, but also understand that desire to see all kinds of different things that you don't really get to see,
Yeah, I think our biggest thing is my wife and I both realized, so I get a little background, and I might have said this before. Until we landed here, we had not stayed in one house longer than 2.5 years. That was the longest we'd ever stayed in a house.
That's
ever since we got together. And then we landed here 7.5 years ago.
Yeah, something like that.
And we bought our house in 2020, January of 2020, January, February. So we've been in this house for 5 years now, almost a little over 5 years. And it's the longest we've ever been in any house. And we bought this with the intentions of we're going to retire and die here, in this, if not in that house, in this town. And so we tried really hard. We tried, and then we realized that the same thing that we had done before we had kids, our kids had.
Right.
My daughter has it. My son strives to travel.
Yeah.
And so, and then my wife and I, we're very windy people. We like to be in the wind, and we like to travel, and and it's.
You said windy. All I heard was fart sounds. Sorry,
that's hilarious. And so we've. Yeah. Why fight who we really are?
Right.
And why hold my teenager right now for the next 4 years into a house when he knows the second he turns 18, he wants to go?
Right.
Why not have some of those experiences with him?
Right.
So my daughter is now married, and she has married someone who grew up here.
Oh, has never been any place. I think they've lived in 3 houses his entire
life. So, and so he's kind of talking with them. He's a little excited to kind of see new things, and she's super excited to see new things.
Right.
So I'm excited for them. But yeah, I mean, we're, looking at and some of the state of the economy and the state of prices of things, and absolutely plays a factor in some stuff.
And it should. I mean,
it's definitely going to cost us more now to travel than it did 8 years ago.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But I will say that 8 years ago we literally moved into an RV, and I had never even stayed in an RV before. I knew nothing. Nothing. We moved into the RV, and our first trip found out that the roof leaked, and it poured water. I mean, I'm not talking like drip leak. I'm talking poured water into the RV. So I had to learn how to put a new roof on an RV. I put a whole new roof on an RV within a month after us buying it.
Wow. Okay. Sounds like fun.
I learned all about RV appliances. They do not function nothing like a residential appliance. No. Well, they didn't know for the one we had. So I had to learn how to use a propane-powered refrigerator.
Yeah. Well, and they're like we have a little camper, and it's a dual, like it's electric and propane, depending on what you're using. I'm like, please don't ever break, because I have no idea what I would do.
I will say that our RV we had before was 20 years old.
Yeah.
We're looking at a newer one. It's only a year, either brand new or within 3 years old.
Okay, but that was one of the things. Okay, that we were chatting about that before we got this started. Did that freeze?
We are froze. Huh.
What
is going on?
Okay, I'm gonna. Oh, nope.
And it moved.
And it moved.
How did that happen?
I have no idea.
Technical difficulties, people. I don't quite understand what's going on here.
Yeah.
Let me look here. Hold on. I don't quite understand.
It's working now. All right, now we're back there. There you go.
It says something like there's a thing on the screen. It says application something, camera something. I can't read it all though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's working again. That's
okay.
weird.
That was weird, guys. I don't know if y'all seen all that, but freaked out on our end. So.
Yeah.
Okay, back at it.
Yeah. Well, so on that, right? We were talking about it beforehand. Your circumstances are different too.
Yes.
Okay. That the 8 years here have changed some things financially in your lives.
Absolutely.
Honestly, you told me, hey, when we left, 20-year-old RV left with a couple grand, $3-4 grand in. Now you were going to a contract that you knew was going to pay enough to keep you going for a while, but you didn't have that. This circumstance is different because you have, like you had left all your other businesses, you'd sold out, you were done. Like like you said, you'd cleared all your financial obligations and really had very little resources.
Yes.
Right? That's not the case this time, Dathan.
No, it's completely different this time.
Yes. Right.
We're actually way more stable this time.
Right.
So another big thing is I don't share this with a ton of people. I guess I'm about to, but the last time we moved into an RV and left, it was for the sake of our marriage and relationship.
Yeah.
We knew we had to get out of the town we were in as quick and as fast as possible.
Right.
Things had happened, and I won't go into all that, but we realized that the only way for us to really rebuild everything and get to know our kids even better and all that stuff was to get as close as we possibly can, and you can't get any closer than a 200 square foot where you got to live with everybody.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Nothing is soundproof in that place. So you hear every time somebody does anything, farts or burps or anything.
Yeah.
So you get really close.
Yeah.
It was, for us and our family, it was the best thing we could have ever done. So this time around, we're doing it because we're choosing to do it. There is nothing besides the fact that we want to pushing us.
Right.
Like, in the grand scheme of things, the number one major thing is just us accepting who we are, and that's our push for this. Right. We want to do this.
Right.
So I've actually had people that are hearing about it.
Right.
This is funny. I've had people hearing about it. I had someone come over to the house and kind of pull me off to the side. They don't want to talk in front of my family, and they're like, "Hey, what's going on? What are you running from?" I'm not running from anything. I'm actually choosing to do this.
So that's somebody that's not in relationship with you.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, I'm not running from anything. They're like, well, you're actually choosing to sell your house and to go on the road. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and they just looked at me like, they're like, oh, well, I had this huge speech prepared, but this is a good thing for you then. And I was like, yes, it's a good thing for me. And he is kind of a jokester, and I was like, you know what they say, unsolicited advice is just judgment. And he just laughed, and I was like, so it's one of those things that we're actually we're so excited about this because we're doing it purposely.
Right. Well, again, we've talked about it. It's kind of the same thing, clearing things up, but you'll have more put away on exit, and you will still, you're keeping CQB.
I'm keeping the airsoft place.
You're keeping the airsoft place. Like we talked about it, you have a great manager. Richard is fantastic. Love the guy. He is hilarious. He's dedicated. He's a good man.
He is.
Right? And so you'll have that here. So you'll still have income coming in, which is, it's completely different than last time. So the resources that are available, what you can do it's a completely different scenario. So circumstances dictated a necessity for it last time. This time it's a choice.
Yeah.
And it's, I actually think I think some of that judgment is jealousy
Probably.
from some folks to be able to do it. Like I said, Megan and I've lived, well, in the we've been married for 21, 22 years. The longest we've lived any place is here, and we've been back here for 10 years. But before that, we lived in a couple of different cities in Colorado. We lived in a couple of different cities in Oregon. We lived in Washington. So for the first 10 years of our marriage, for the first 12 years we were together, we lived in, it was like every year and a half, 2 years, we were moving to a different city. We're moving to a different town. So I get that. This time, but we're like, no, we're going to stay. I've encouraged my children. I want them.
Yeah.
I thought circumstances, I thought Sophie was going to go, but things drew her back, and now she's here and she's established. Maybe she'll make that decision someday to still go. James is a senior in high school. Once he's done, God only knows what he's going to do. And I'm okay with that. So for you guys, yeah, I'm not hiding it. I didn't hide it from you. I think it's a great thing, and I'm sad for me.
Yeah. And like I said, we definitely have to give up. There's some hard things that we have to give up.
Right.
But we had to look at it like, okay, is it worth not doing this to keep this type deal?
Yeah.
And you gotta go through that. There's a lot of stuff, people's like, oh, I could never do that. I could never live in an RV. You'd be surprised. You do have to give up amenities.
Right.
There are amenities, you have to give up space.
Right.
But the advantage of not having as much space is it takes 20 minutes to clean the entire entire house.
Right.
People's like, well, I have to give up. I hear people talk all the time. Well, I have to give up, the convenience of ordering off Amazon. Actually, no, you don't. Most RV parks, you can order directly to you. Right. I mean, there's there's all kind of stuff. It's really when COVID happened in 2020, RV world blew up.
Yeah.
Everybody got an RV.
Yeah.
There was more RVs sold between 2020 and 2021 than there was the prior 30 years. In 2 years, there was more RVs sold than in the prior 30 years.
Wow.
So I just found that statistic the other day. So what happened is all these RV parks, because RVing used to be for the retired.
Yeah.
Full-time or traveling was for the retired. And then you had your occasional weekend holiday families.
Right.
Well, that's changed. So when COVID happened, what changed is families started RVing a lot, and even full timing. And when we traveled last time, which was 8 years ago, there was about 15 core full-time family RVers on YouTube. There's over 300 now, core. I'm talking like major ones that have followings, full families. Now, that has a lot to do with YouTube blowing up and everything else. But what's happened is parks have actually started facilitating and making amenities for families now. So you have playgrounds at parks now, which a lot of times you didn't have playgrounds before.
Oh yeah, you look at the snowbird community down in Arizona. You're not even allowed in unless you're 55 years old or older.
Exactly. And there's some parks like that still around. You can't get in. They're older parks and stuff like that. But a lot of the parks have transitioned into family parks. They have pools now for the kids. They have kiddie areas. They're really bringing in families because they're realizing since 2020, families are traveling now. So it's changed a lot, which is going to be different for me navigating. We would have to do a ton of research on parks on an RV park before we stayed at it. Which is one reason we didn't stay at a lot of parks last time we went. Last time we did a lot of what they called boondocking or dry camping or whatever. We were fully self-contained. So we're probably going to set the RV up for that this time because that was some of the greatest memories. I mean, we pulled up in the Moab Desert on public land and we were there for 2 weeks. And, we were fully self-contained and we did hikes all in the caves and rock hunting and everything else. So stuff like that is awesome. Some of the great and some of the coolest people we met were when we were in places that you wouldn't think you would camp.
Right.
You know, some of the coolest people we met.
Right.
You got to be open-minded, but
I think that too comes with age and discernment of like, okay, yeah, let's this is somebody, let's chat. I'm gonna meet him for a day or two or whatever. You know, it's a transient thing. You're gonna move on. But having that, and who know? Well, like you said, who knows? Who knows how this is going to lead, what this is going to look like in the long run for you guys? You know, you could end up in Maine.
Mm-hmm. Well, we want to visit New York. Right. I mean, none of us have ever been to the Northeast.
Okay.
Ever. Like none of those states.
That's one of the places I absolutely want to go. That's
so
one of those.
I've never been. So we want to park kind of, because everything's a 2.5 hour drive up there. I mean, you can get everything. You can cross the state in 45 minutes.
Yeah, right.
So we want to kind of park southern of that, and and then build a travel and go visit and go do things up there. Like I said, visit. Yeah, I don't want to live in that kind of population, but there's things I want to see. I mean, I've never been to Washington D.C.
Really?
No. We were supposed to go on our 8th grade trip, and it got canceled. So I've never been.
It's great around the monuments, and then honestly, well, you'll find out. It's a toilet outside of the monument.
That's what I've heard.
I mean, the monuments, the things that they take care of they do a great job. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a toilet outside of there. Talking about that sneaking up, you say, I don't want to be in that kind of climate. Yeah, but I tell you what, I would want to be in the Northeast in October, November, and then leave. Because that's when, you see the beautiful photos of the leaves changing and things like that. That's the time that's the one place I actually would want to visit in the fall. And then before half the leaves have fallen, time to go.
And that's what we're thinking about doing, is that we don't want to be up there when snow hits. You know what I mean? Right. I don't want to be pulling an RV through snow. And, we've done winters in our RV. And the unexpected of freezing things and stuff like it's just not the same. Right. So we definitely won't. I mean, we have a few places that we want to fly out to and visit in the winters. Yeah. But we don't want to take the RV to it. Right. So, so we're. I mean, it's gonna be exciting. It'll be cool. It'll make the podcast interesting because I'm going to have new experiences and new things to talk about. Right. And, we'll be on the road. So,
well, talking about that, one of our earlier ones was all about the cultural differences, the areas you go to. Well, you've been here for 8 years. Getting back into that, diving back in, and even seeing how some of the things that you remember, are they the same, or is there already some differences? Or are there some things that living in the Northwest has changed about you?
I'm sure it has.
Right.
I'm sure it has. One of the things that I hear a lot of people talking about is that culture changed in so many places during COVID.
That's what I've heard.
And the way towns ran and stuff just all changed. So there's those places that I seen 8 years ago are not going to be the same this time around, and I think one of the things I'm excited about the most is experiencing different cultures of food, within the United States. But the United States has a lot of cultures of food.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited about that. The one thing I got to figure out how to navigate, and I know there's ways to do it, but I'm going to be traveling with firearms.
Yeah.
So I can't even keep my firearms with me locked in my RV and go into California.
Right.
So I've learned that in Nevada on the line, there's lockers. And so you pull in with your RV, you unload anything you can't take into California, and you pay for a locker for a month. And then as you leave the state, you come back through and you pick your stuff up.
What the hell kind of racket is that?
But if you're living full time in your RV, I can't take my pistol with me into California, even if it's locked in a safe. So,
I guess that there are definitely
different restrictions and stuff. I can't when we go to New York and Washington and stuff you can't even be in the state with it. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to navigate all that.
Wow.
So
That's it's funny. Every one of the states that you mentioned are the states that I would would want my firearm first and foremost.
absolutely.
because those are all places that are
They're high crime.
They're high crime.
Yeah.
They're high crime.
So
but you're not even that's a whole nother area that wouldn't even have thought of as
yep. So that's something you got to worry about navigating.
Okay.
Okay. You know, and not even just the gun itself. Like you can't have an abundance of ammo with you going through some of these states.
Well,
so
like I have my I have an M&P 45 gun, right? But I have an extended magazine. It's a 15 round magazine.
Can't have it in the state of California.
Can't have it in Oregon either.
Yeah.
Right.
Anything over 10 rounds.
Anything over 10 rounds. Well, my traditional ones, the ones that it came with, are 11. Like
the ones that mine come with are 14s.
Right.
So I mean, I can't even have the standard mag that comes with.
Right. So all those,
and not even loaded. If you didn't have the gun, didn't have ammo, and you had the mag, it's illegal. So there is something called there's an insurance. It's called something law or something. I had it last time we traveled. So it's an insurance you pay for the year.
Right.
And what it does a few different things. It helps with stolen guns or lost guns or anything like that. But it also you have a card, and on the back of that card, it's got a 1-800 number, and you give them your membership number, and you tell them where you're traveling.
Okay.
And they will, I think it's called U.S. law, U.S. Shield Law or U.S. Law Shield or something like that. They will tell you, here's the state's laws. Here's what you can take into that. Here's what you can't. Here's what you can do with your firearms in that state. It was super helpful last time. Like one time we were traveling from Texas to here, and we were going to head through New Mexico, Nevada, and then we headed up. And I called them and I told them where we were going, and they sent me an email with, here's the route you should take to avoid where you can't. So we avoided Oregon completely. So we came up through Nevada and then kicked over and went through Oklahoma area and then kicked back over. We completely avoided Oregon. We didn't even go through Oregon at all.
Right.
Because it was one of those states that I couldn't travel through with a firearm.
No.
But we were able to route around it. And so it was just, and even inside states, some towns, some city limits have different. And so the law is on most states, you can drive through the state, you just can't stop. Okay. So you can't have a flat tire, you can't have stop for gas, you can't do any of those things. And now this is all about if you get caught, but still, legally you can't do it. And I mean, do you really want a chance losing your right to even carry a firearm ever?
Right.
And be known because it's a federal offense, So, yeah. So there is a. Sorry, I had stitches yesterday in the back of my head, and I just scratched it.
Beforehand you're talking about that, and you're like, that's the first time you've actually touched it since
I know
in half an hour. So good job. But no, that's. Sorry, laughing at other people's pain.
Yeah, get you through your own pains.
Yeah, right. But the idea of that, the idea that there are such specific things. It's funny. It actually came up. One of my clients, we were talking about. He wants to travel, and he wanted to go to Oregon, and we were talking about safety and. I'm like, you can't carry a gun. You
can't have a knife that has a blade over 6 inches.
Right.
I have hunting knives that have like a 6.5 inch blade. Yeah. I can't have that.
I have kitchen knives that are
exactly. My bread knife is longer than that. Right. How does that work?
All right. So that's an aspect had never even considered.
We didn't until we had been traveling last time. Now, last time we started traveling, we were going along the southern states,
right?
Until we got to Texas, and which all the southern states are fine.
Yeah.
But when we got to Texas, I actually got to talking with somebody about it, and they were another RVer, and they were like, "Oh, have you considered it?" And I was like, "Oh crap, I didn't even thought about this."
Yeah.
And luckily, I had because we didn't go into California last time because California is not one of those you can drive in and drive out of with it because they're not a drive-through state.
They're a destination.
They're a destination state. So they don't have that rule. So I did find out you can get a advanced concealed carry permit in some areas that covers like 42 states.
Yeah.
But California and New York's not one of them.
Well, I know.
So
Sophie, my daughter, she actually has an enhanced concealed carry. Because she wanted to, we talked about it, she wanted to travel, she wanted to do that kind of stuff. She actually went ahead and actually got the enhanced concealed carry, but it was exactly that. She's like, yeah, there's still so many places.
I think there's 8 or 12 that aren't even covered on there. So
that she just can't go.
Yeah,
but
I'll probably get mine
covered most.
I had a concealed carry in Florida, and it covered like 35 states, or 32 states, and then I get up here and realize one of those states wasn't Washington.
Right.
And so when we do go into Washington, I have to be careful how I carry or whatever if I can't conceal carry. So I'll probably get me an advance before I leave, just because Idaho makes them easy to get.
Yeah, so, as I say, they're not here. They're not super. Well, so that just popped into my head. So you're not going to really settle any place. So I'm guessing you're going to maintain Idaho residency until you. So yeah, what's that look like?
So the way that works is there's mail services.
Okay.
There's actually one right in Ponderay we're going to use. So it gives you a physical address.
Okay.
So you pay yearly for a physical address. All your mail goes there. And then what they do is they take that mail and they scan the top of the envelopes. And then every couple of weeks, you just log in and you can see all the different mail you have, and you can click discard, mail to me, or open and scan inside. And that's the service they do. So you'd be surprised how much mail that you get that's junk. So most of it's discard. So what we would do last time is we would just once a month, any mail that we needed to actually receive hard copies of, we would actually just get them to put into a box and ship to whatever and mail to whatever, and it costs whatever the mailing fee is, $8 or $6. So you actually maintain a residency in that state.
In that state, wherever that state is.
And you can do it in any state. Every single state has one.
Right.
So the hard thing though is that you've got to realize, like Garrett is 14. So within the year, he's going to want to do driver's ed.
Right.
So we've got to be somewhere, and if we're a resident of Idaho, we have to come back to Idaho for him to do driver's ed for that, however long it takes. I think it's
about a month. Yeah, about a month.
And then get a license in this state. And then we have to return when he turns 16 or 15 and a half or whatever it is to take the driver's test in this state.
6 months later.
Yeah, 6 months later.
Yeah.
So we have to navigate that.
Okay.
So it is kind of weird. So it sounds like we're going to be here.
It sounds like great excuses to come back and visit.
It does. And so we're going to have to come back here. And last time we did it, we were in Texas, and we did a Texas one. And we knew it was going to be about central from wherever we were going, because we were going from the Pacific Northwest to the Southeast. Right. So we knew that it was kind of central, so we could always get back there quicker.
That makes sense. I mean, that absolutely makes sense. That was the thing was, I mean, where you're at now with insurances, things like that, like what state is going to allow for you to maintain potentially lower insurance rates? Where can you actually do that stuff? Because your daughter is here for now, maintaining it to have a reason to come back makes sense.
And we might change later on.
I was gonna say, but if they move, if they go someplace else, then yeah, you'll still have a tie here, but less so. I mean, I know you love me, but you know.
So, and there is things you can do. Like you can go, we're going to both go get our license renewed, because you can get them renewed within 24 months of your renewal date, so 2 years. We're going to get them, and we're going to get 10-year license. So
makes sense.
For the next 10 years, our license is fine with this address, there's just little things you can do when you get your insurance. Like our insurance, we won't go through a standard insurance company. We'll go through something called Good Sam, which is it's an RV insurance, but they'll cover your car too if you have an RV with them. And they don't care, because all they insure is RVs. They don't really care what state you're in. Theirs is a national policy. So, but there are some things that you gotta be careful with. You know what I mean? You gotta kind of work the system a little bit. It's a lot easier now than it was 8 years ago. Before, these mailing services I couldn't forward, like, you know how when you forward your mail at the post office when you move?
Yeah.
They wouldn't accept the mailing service as the forward address.
Really?
They wouldn't. They were real stiflers about it. The Postal Service didn't like it, all this stuff. All that's changed now. They don't count them as Postal Service, they count them as physical addresses.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, our physical address will actually be the Bonner Mall.
Yeah.
Because that's where the addresses are. So what it is somebody rents a building and you use that as your physical address, and then it comes in and they just sort your mail.
Well, that's the same idea as an apartment building.
Absolutely.
You know? Hey, unit. Well, like, yes, because we have a business downtown, we get a free post office box, but I pay for the enhancement to have stuff physically, to have a physical address, even at our post office.
Yeah.
So, 7167 First Street, unit 1264. I have a physical address that it just goes to the post office.
Yep.
So that I can get the postal guy, he's a comedian. One day I showed up and he's like, I have a whole rack for you. What? He's like, I have a rack for you, all house stuff. He's like, I know you're getting your money's worth out of the physical address, because I had to pull the Jeep to the back, and I literally filled the back of the Jeep because we had it was all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Literally, he's like everything and the kitchen sink, and literally
there was a kitchen sink.
There's a kitchen sink there.
Yeah, so I looked into the Postal Service one. The problem with it is they won't mail your mail out to you.
Right.
The mail services will.
Right.
And they'll scan stuff. It's super nice. You log onto your account and you can see every envelope, and you can usually tell by that front envelope what it's from.
Yeah.
And then if you don't know who it's from, you can just say open and scan. They open it, run it through a scanner, and it puts all the pages up there. Right. So most of the time you don't even have to get your stuff mailed to you. Nowadays, I'll probably get, in a month, 5 physical pieces of mail that I actually need.
Right. Yeah.
That's, maybe.
Yeah.
Well,
and I know, like, the only reason I get more than that is because one of the insurance companies refuses to do electronic, and so I get actual physical. So I get like 2 or 3.
You know how many times I have requested paperless from State Farm and I still get paper?
I know.
I'm like, you got to be kidding me, dude. Yeah. I don't need all this. It's all on my app.
Yep. One of the insurance companies that I receive payments from, I've requested electronic payment 3 different times, 2.5, 3 years into this, and they still won't do it. So I still receive an e-card. Like, I don't even receive, it's not even a check. It's a debit card. It's a debit card with X amount of dollars in that I deposit that I electronically run.
That is the craziest thing ever. That has to cost more money.
Oh, yeah.
Than just setting up e-payments.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because e-payments don't cost you money.
Yeah. Yeah, it
blows my mind.
It's so dumb. But those are, again, talking about navigating all the little things it makes sense, especially with COVID, all the stuff that happened there and the updates. And I know it made a huge impact on the education system. Mm-hmm. So, Garrett's going to be in high school. And I know, talking with him, his hope is to be done sooner, right? Yeah. He wants to be done faster. Well, as somebody with a daughter who finished 2 years early, wanted to get through, mm-hmm. I could see him doing that.
Oh, yeah. I can see by the time he hit 16 being done with high school. Like his sister.
Yeah.
Just like his sister did.
Yeah. Well, that was Sophie, too. 16 and she was done.
I think there was 1 or 2 things they had to complete towards the end of their
mm-hmm.
that 16-year right before they turned 17, but he'll blow through it.
Yeah.
And being in an RV, actually, what we noticed is Addison, when she was in an RV doing schoolwork, it was way faster. She would do it way quicker because she wanted to get outside. She wanted to do things. She would get through stuff so much faster. And she would say, and we gave her the option, listen, if you want to spend Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday mm-hmm. blowing through, like doing as much as you can, like 5 or 6 hours,
yeah,
you get the next 6 days off
right.
from school. And she would do that. or sometimes it'd be raining all week where we're at, and she would just blow through a month worth of school in a week. So she was just, she was real good about that. Garrett, same way, he's self-taught.
Yeah.
He's so self-taught. So it'll be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
It will be interesting. It'll be the only, and I saw you were selling your MacBook. If it was actually a PC, we'd talk. But
so I've got 2 full-blown PCs. I'm selling my full gaming PC and Garrett's full one.
So we might chat about that because James is looking for one, and I'm
selling my whole setup.
Yeah.
Desk, multiple screens, big, huge PC, keyboard, mouse, headphones, mic. I'm selling it all.
Well, let's potentially chat about that. Like I said, James is looking, because all he has is a laptop, so he's looking for a setup for himself.
This is the beast. I mean, he would be able to do it. You can run anything on it.
Yeah. And then I have just the we have just the laptop here. I'm actually thinking about putting one in here that can actually do more, especially because, I'm going to talk to logistics for just a second. With you being gone and just doing stuff on your laptop, if we need to do video editing, I want to be able to do it here. And that laptop ain't doing shit.
Yeah. And what I plan on doing is we have 3 computers. We have my big gaming computer, my big beast, Garrett's, which is still really good. It was the one I built for Squirrely Tees.
Oh, yeah.
So when I moved it home, I didn't need it. So Garrett's using it. And then I've got my MacBook Pro.
Right.
So my goal is to sell all 3 of those and then buy 2 really nice gaming laptops.
Yeah.
Like
makes sense.
with 50 series graphic cards and all that stuff. Because I'm going to need to do video editing. He still wants to game, you know. So I think between the 3, we can get 2 good laptops.
I know he also just bought an Xbox X.
That's going.
That's going. I kind of
We've actually got 2 Xbox S's.
Okay.
That are going to be being sold too. We have so much stuff. But we're taking his X, and then he also has a MetaQuest that he just bought. $600 MetaQuest, that the new one, and we're not taking it. So he's gonna. We have a lot of stuff to sell.
That boy. And I'm assuming he's gonna sell his car.
He's already sold.
Okay. Oh, he already sold it.
Well, I'm driving it right now, but next week the guy's coming to get it. So he sold it.
That boy's gonna have more money in the bank.
He's gonna know what to do with it. He ain't gonna know what to do with it. And he's working right now, which he's making, and he has nothing to pay. He's about to get a rude awakening and be like, all right, you got to pay for your cell phone bill now. The same thing happened with Addison. As soon as she got a good job, I was like, all right, your cell phone bill has to be paid.
This is your portion of things.
And she did it, and it made her strong for it.
Well, it makes them learn to manage money better.
It does.
When they realize, oh, mom and dad aren't just going to pay for everything. They have to figure out, oh, okay, this is going to be some stuff.
It's good though. That I like giving some responsibility. I don't overwhelm them, but he already knew when he got his car that he was going, once we put insurance on it, he was going to pay the insurance on it. He was going to do stuff like that. If he wanted himself, he has to pay for the renewal every year. Yeah. He's a little bummed because he was excited about having a car, and now, but we sold it. He got his money back out of it, so that's all that matters. And he'll get another vehicle. It'll probably be once we settle down, or he turns 18 and wants to travel. So
settle down.
I don't know, man. Those words, it feels weird even saying it.
Well, I mean, as you're entering into the adventure, you say settle down, and I hear 4 years from now, I'll find out that you're living in, I don't know, Arizona. No, I don't know. That's a little too
Arizona.
No, that's a little too hot. Yeah, I don't know.
And honestly, when I say settle down, the visual picture that pops in my mind is we've bought a plot of land somewhere that has an RV hookup on it. It's not even a house. Right. And we've bought a plot of land, and that's where that's our home base.
Yeah.
And we might spend 3 months at a time there, but the rest of the year we're traveling.
Yeah.
There's this cool program that I'm just started looking into it. I don't know enough about it yet, but it's an international travel program.
Oh.
So what it is you can, if people who full-time RV, they can sign up for this program, and what it does is it covers you for up to it might be 6 months of stay internationally.
No.
And what you do is there's other people in the programs that have houses over here and stuff like that. And so you go stay at someone's home for 3 to 6 months internationally, and you can pick where you stay. And you can, or there's another one where there's full-time RVers like in Europe. Y'all swap RVs for like 3 months at a time. So you go travel Europe for 3 months at a time in their RV and their rig, and they come over here and stay in yours. That would be kind of weird, but
that would be kind of weird because,
but there's all kind of international travel things like this.
Yeah.
There's even a program for full-time RVers where you can go spend 3 months on a cruise ship as a family.
That would be interesting.
I haven't convinced Alexa. She don't like being on the water, so.
That's the one thing I absolutely want to do is I want to do at least one. I want to do an Alaskan cruise at some point.
So do I.
That's the one I really want to do.
Maybe we should plan it as family.
Yeah, there you go.
Would y'all just
yeah.
Oh, we're gonna do it with the kids, but
yeah. Right. You can leave them in.
I can leave the little ones with grandma
in Georgia,
or South Carolina, and then Garrett. He can go to visit friends for a couple of weeks, and we'll fly up here and have a cruise.
Right. Absolutely. Sounds great to me.
7-day Alaskan cruise.
Right.
I can definitely do
as
that.
Long
That
as
would be awesome.
Your wife bring the anti-nausea medication.
Pack extra of that.
I know she's got it because I'm thankful that she did. Oh, that's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother story.
That
was actually one of the podcasts that got lost.
Yeah,
that was one that we lost audio on.
yeah. I don't know. Part of me is a little thankful.
Maybe.
Yeah, so. Part of me is like, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a good thing. I can see this all being good. I can see this all, again, excited, a little sad, but I also, over the last few years, you and I have developed a different kind of friendship. We were talking about that a little bit earlier. So I'm not afraid.
I'm not either.
I'm not afraid that, will things change? Of course they will. Things always change. But there's not a fear that, whatever, this is not the end. It's just a change. It's just something different. So, it'll be good. And there's time. We'll see how quickly your house moves. I know your deadline is to try to be out of here before the snow flies.
And honestly, as long as we want to have Thanksgiving with the family back in the South. So, bare minimum, if we're pulling out of here by the 15th of November, I think we're good.
Yeah.
I would love to be pulling out of here 15th of October.
Yeah.
So that we can just take our time and kind of we want to hit the redwoods and stuff like that and kind of go down the coast and then go across I-10 to back to the, but if that doesn't happen and we got to kind of beeline it down to the South, we just want to spend the holidays with the family.
Yeah. It's been years since you've done that.
It's been years. My youngest is 4 and my mother's never met him. My brother hasn't either.
Yeah, that's hard.
So they just don't travel.
Right.
So it's hard to travel with a family of 6 on an airplane.
Yeah.
So
and it's ridiculously expensive.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy expensive. I can travel with an RV and fuel way cheaper with the family than I can.
Yeah.
So we're kind of looking at all that. It's really gonna just come down to how quick the house sells.
Yeah.
That's gonna be our biggest thing. We're gonna put a contingency in the house selling that we have a 14-day after the house sells that we have to be out.
Okay.
It's called.
You're gonna rent it back.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. You just build into the contract. That we're going to, it's delayed possession or something like that. Yeah. It's just a piece of paper, but it's super common to do. But we're going to have a 14 days. So once the house closes, the day that we get paid for it, we have 14 days to get. And at that point in time, we'll be ready. You know what I mean? But we'll have to get the car, get the RV, get everything, and then we'll be good to go. So,
well, that makes sense because if you try to do it another way, then where does all of your stuff go?
Yeah.
And you still need the funding to actually go
purchase all those stuff.
Purchase all those things.
And we're finding out that what we might be doing is getting the car, the SUV we're going to get, putting a U-Haul trailer behind it, and going to pick the RV up because
Depending on where it's at.
Depending on where it's at. We might have to travel, 1,000 miles to pick the RV up because depending on which RV we find. So, which will be fine. I mean, we're not going to have a lot of stuff we're taking in the RV. We won't have a lot of room.
Right.
So,
yeah. Well, like you said, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You fill a medium size or
little pull behind
with the necessities, the dishes, the blankets and
clothes
and all the little things that get tucked into all the different little places. Amazing. I mean, that's one thing amazing RVs are for is they make space for shit in places like
good RV designers make every little space utilized.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you won't be able to customize it immediately. But if you're down with your family, hey, we noticed something. Hey, this needs to be customized, or we'd like to add shelves here. You'll be there for a couple weeks, month.
Yeah.
To be able to retrofit some things as you need.
Yep.
Those are all things that you'll figure out over time. Like I said, it's been 8 years, but also it's different. You have one more kid, swapped out a girl for 2 boys. So there'll be some things that are definitely different. Bunkhouse style
bunkhouse style. The one we're looking at, the back, it's actually the front is the bunkhouse. The back is the master.
Mm-hmm.
So the front has a bed here and a bed here. So like an L-shaped bunks.
Okay.
Underneath it is a couch, or you flip it out and it becomes a queen bed. Okay. So Garrett down bottom, little boys up top. And that's our own room. It has actually a hard door that closes. And then it has a slide out for the living room that has a huge L-shaped sectional in it. And then an eatery area, kitchen, and then it's what's called a shotgun bathroom. So from the living room, you go into the bathroom, and then showers on one side, sink and toilets on the other side, and then you walk through another door that goes into the master.
Right.
And the master has actually got a full king in it with a dresser, and there's a door that actually exits from the master outside too. So there's 2 doors. So that's what the one we're looking at that we really like. This had the best layout that we like.
I like for you guys. I like the separation.
Yes, I told my wife I want ours on one end, theirs on the other, and I want at least a hard wall in between, if not 2. And this one's got 2 because of the whole bathroom.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say that separation for you guys will be important.
Yeah.
Yeah, love the kids, but I don't even want to be.
So our Class A was set up very much like that.
Okay.
It was a shotgun bathroom. You walk through it to get to the master.
Right.
And I
didn't know that's what they were called.
Well, it's called a shotgun because you go all the way through it.
Yeah.
So I didn't either until a week ago when I started researching it. I had to learn all the lingo. But yeah, it's going to be a fun experience. I can't wait.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. And like you said, you got all the prep work to get there. But, and I know you got more work to do today. So, we've been at it for a little while. So I guess normally I let you do last thoughts, but I'm going to take it today. I'm going to take the last thoughts today. Do something. I'm proud of you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you for realizing what you need to do for your family. More people should do that. More people should really examine where they're at, the kind of people they are. Megan and I know we're the around the campfire people, and you and your family are those wandering people.
Mm-hmm.
And so understanding that, I stole that from Reacher, by the way. That's not my own idea. That knowing that, but also know that you have homes. You always have a place to go. You always have a place where you will be attached, whether you see it or not, right? And so, looking forward to it for you.
Thank you.
And we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, with that, we're close out another episode of Distracted Thoughts. Folks, it's been great. We will look forward to seeing you next time, and we'll see where this goes all the way through. Thanks.